Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. CBS News reports that press freedom worldwide has fallen to its lowest level in a quarter of a century, according to a warning issued by Reporters Without Borders, RSF, on Thursday. For the first time in its 25-year history, more than half of the world's countries are now categorized as having a difficult or very serious situation for press freedom. The average score for all countries and territories is at an unprecedented low, while the global population living in countries with a good press freedom situation has plunged to less than 1%, predominantly found in only 7 northern European nations, led by Norway. The report highlights specific concerns, citing President Trump's systematic attacks on journalists in the United States, which dropped 7 places to 64th in 2026, having already moved from fairly good to problematic in 2024. Issues in the U.S. also include the detention and expulsion of Salvadoran journalist Mario Guevara and drastic cuts to international broadcasting funding. Russia, ranked 172nd second, is noted for using anti-terrorism and extremism laws to restrict media, holding 48 journalists behind bars in April 2026. Quantidad Niger, 120th, down 37 places, saw the steepest decline in 2026 due to suppression of information by armed groups and ruling juntas. Al Jazeera reports that press freedom globally has reached its lowest level in 25 years, according to Reporters Without Borders, RSF. For the first time since RSF began its index in 2002, more than half of the world's countries are now in the difficult or very serious categories for press freedom, signaling a worldwide criminalization of journalism. Only 7 countries, primarily Nordic nations, achieved a good rating, with Norway, the Netherlands, and Estonia leading the rankings. The report highlights the criminalization of journalism as a global phenomenon, often driven by misuse of legislation and restrictions on information access. RSF notes that Eastern Europe and the Middle East remain the most dangerous regions for journalists. The report cites numerous examples of crackdowns, including in India, Egypt, Georgia, Turkey, and Hong Kong, as well as the impact of war and the targeting of journalists, particularly in Gaza. Al Jazeera reports that global press freedom has declined to its lowest point in a quarter of a century, according to Reporters Without Borders, RSF. RSF's World Press Freedom Index indicates that more than half of the 180 countries surveyed now fall into difficult or very serious categories for press freedom, signaling a global criminalization of journalism. Only 7 Nordic countries maintain a good press freedom rating, with Norway, the Netherlands, and Estonia leading. The report highlights that authoritarian regimes, complicit governments, economic interests, and unregulated online platforms are key drivers of this decline. RSF calls for stronger protections and sanctions against perpetrators, emphasizing that inaction undermines international law and fosters impunity. Ukrainian forces have reportedly achieved a significant first in the ongoing conflict by capturing Russian troop positions using only drones and ground-based robotic systems. President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that this operation marked the initial instance in the war where an enemy position was taken entirely by unmanned platforms. He emphasized that the successful capture involved no infantry participation and resulted in no losses on the Ukrainian side. Zelensky highlighted that the broader deployment of such technology aims to minimize risks to personnel in high-threat environments, noting that over 22,000 missions have been conducted by robotic systems in the past 3 months. This strategic use of advanced technology underscores Ukraine's commitment to preserving human life while enhancing its defense capabilities. The report from Metrocot.uk details the increasing integration of these unmanned systems, with a substantial rise in their deployment and effectiveness in recent months. Pakistan has opened 6 overland transit routes for goods destined for Iran, formalizing an overland corridor through its territory as thousands of containers remain stranded at Karachi port due to the United States blockade of Iranian ports and ships. Traversing the Strait of Hormuz, the Ministry of Commerce issued the transit of goods through territory of Pakistan Order 2026, allowing third-country goods to be transported through Pakistan to Iran by road. This initiative, announced during Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi's visit to Islamabad, is seen as a significant step towards promoting regional trade and enhancing Pakistan's role as a trade corridor. The move comes as the U.S.-Iran conflict has disrupted global trade routes, particularly through the critical Strait of Hormuz. The new corridor offers a vital alternative for moving stranded cargo and signals a strategic shift away from Afghanistan as a transit route for Pakistan's westbound trade. Al Jazeera. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.